Jay Williams wants 10-game suspension for Draymond Green. Draymond Green is likely facing a suspension from the NBA. He was ejected from the Golden State Warriors games against the Minnesota Timberwolves on Tuesday. During an on-court altercation, Green put Rudy Gobert in a chokehold and dragged him to the floor. The veteran forward's actions have sparked a fierce debate online. Fans are split on how severe his punishment should be. However, ESPN analyst Jay Williams believes he should be suspended for 10 games. I get the history. These guys were chirping last game. You can't choke him out and then drag him all the way back. To me, I think that's a minimum 10-game suspension. To put somebody in a chokehold during the in-season tournament, while we all know the league is trying to create positive publicity, this is a critical moment. I love Draymond. I would love for any teammate to fight for me in that regard. Green has always played the role of an enforcer for the Warriors. He has a history of physicality throughout his career. We're only a year removed from the situation that the veteran punched Jordan Poole during the Warriors' 2022 training camp. It's part of the reason Poole was traded this summer. The NBA will likely come down hard on the four-time champion. The in-season tournament is the league's next step in growing its revenue stream and attracting new fans. It wouldn't be unreasonable for the league to view Green's actions as detrimental to the growth of the new tournament. His history of altercations could also go against him in the league's decision-making process. Nevertheless, the Warriors won't be too concerned. We're early enough into the season that they can make up any lost ground. Green was defending Klay Thompson, which is a good sign for the overall chemistry of the roster. Asking Green to play with less tenacity would shackle what makes him such an elite competitor. It's what's made him such an elite glue guy throughout his career. Green will serve whatever punishment the league throws his way. Yet, when he returns to the court, he will be the exact same player he was leading up to his latest suspension. History has taught us that an aggressive Draymond Green is conducive to the Warriors competing for a championship. He isn't going to change. Whether that's a good or bad thing will remain open for debate. We have more news for you. Warriors' Stephen Curry has no structural damage from knee injury. The Golden State Warriors announced guard Stephen Curry will be re-evaluated later in the week after an MRI of his right knee didn't show any structural damage. For now, he'll remain out of action as Golden State prepares to play the Oklahoma City Thunder on Thursday. On Tuesday, Shams Charania of Stadium and The Athletic reported that Curry suffered a sprain his right knee and would undergo further testing. Earlier in the day, Curry was ruled out of what proved to be a 104-101 loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves due to right knee soreness. He notably took a hard fall during his team's road matchup with Minnesota 2 days earlier and appeared to favor the knee afterward. The 35-year-old Curry has enjoyed a tremendous 15th NBA season, averaging 30.7 points on 48.8% shooting, 44.6% from three-point range, 4.6 rebounds, and 3.9 assists. He's carried a 6-6 Warriors team that's largely struggled offensively thus far outside of his play. Of note, Chris Paul has shot just 37.6% from the field, and Andrew Wiggins has only made 15.2% of his threes. Only one Warrior, Klay Thompson, averages more than 12 points as well. Ultimately, playing without Curry for any period of time is a tough blow for this team. The two-time NBA MVP and 9-time All-Star has shown no signs of slowing down and has simply been tremendous once again. Without Curry, expect Paul to remain in the starting lineup. The 19-year NBA veteran and 11-time All-NBA player has averaged 8.8 points, 7.0 assists, and 3.8 rebounds in 27.8 minutes per game. Corey Joseph should also see more time as the backup point guard. Changing news we also have. Why Rockets are equipped to extend James Harden, Clippers' misery. The rested and red-hot Rockets will have a prime chance to extend the Clippers' losing streak. Man, is it fun to watch Houston Rockets basketball again. A riding high following a 6-1 homestand, the Rockets will travel to Los Angeles and play against the slumping Clippers this Friday in their second game of the in-season tournament. In West Group B, the Rockets will look to make it 2-0 in group play. With a 6-3 record, this will be the first game Houston will play after a long 5-day rest. As weird as the 2023-2024 NBA schedule may seem, Houston's momentum from a 6-game winning streak is at risk of being snapped. Regarding the rather long hiatus during the young season, Rockets head coach Ime Udoka didn't appear worried during Tuesday's practice. It's a chance for us to continue to build on things we've done well, reiterate a lot of points. You don't get a lot of practice time in the NBA this time of year. To have these 3-4 days off, we get to tighten up some things, get a ton of shots in, and really start to focus on this road trip. Our guys will stay fresh, and we got workers on this team. Take advantage of this time for us to get better. If Udoka's guys stay fresh, it'll be advantageous, especially against a Clippers team that is 0-5 after acquiring James Harden. It has been a tumultuous stretch of games for the Clippers. At this point, Tyronn Lue and his squad of former MVPs and All-Stars are searching for answers. The offense since Harden arrived has been abysmal, averaging just 104.3 points per game and 22.5 assists as a team, each of which are dead last in the league. Russell Westbrook and Harden were two of the best ball distributors in the league throughout their prime, but both of them only excelled when the ball was in their hands. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are good off the ball, but are having trouble taking the ball out of Westbrook and Harden's hands when making plays. To top this all off, Harden leads the league with the worst plus-minus at 67. We have more news from the NBA. Why Sixers won't make Zach LaVine trade with Bulls. President of Basketball Operations Daryl Morey shined light on why the Sixers will likely not trade for Bulls star Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine's name has been swirling in NBA rumors after the Chicago Bulls reportedly became open to trade discussions. The Bulls are barely staying afloat in the competitive Eastern Conference. Another team from the East, the Philadelphia 76ers, has been linked to LaVine. However, Daryl Morey implied the team is unlikely to trade for the offensive-minded guard. Zach LaVine does not fit the Sixers' greatest needs. Morey appeared on the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast to set the record straight on what Philly is looking for. LaVine does not fit the description as well as other trade prospects. I would say first off, our trade candidates need to be pretty solid on both ends. As you get into the playoffs, it gets very hard for your top guys to be elite one way, Morey said, per Mark Stein. The president of basketball operations continued, the other thing we would probably need them to have is a bit of playmaking, sort of connector, ball movement aspects. We are a little short on that, and it becomes more important in the playoffs as well. Philly wants a two-way player who can be a reliable playmaker. Zach LaVine is a superb offensive talent, but his defense is not at the same level. In addition, LaVine can generate ball movement, but he is more suited to be a primary scorer. The Sixers' needs make sense after the team lost James Harden's elite passing ability. Tyrese Maxey has helped bridge the gap with his tremendous play. However, as Daryl Morey stated, Philly will likely continue to scour the market to find a talent that meshes better than LaVine. We have more news from the NBA. Caleb Martin's return to provide Heat with much-needed depth versus Nets. As the Heat prepare for the Nets to possibly win 7 straight games, they'll get a boost as Caleb Martin will be available. As the Miami Heat beat the Charlotte Hornets Tuesday night to win their 6th game in a row, more good news is coming their way. The team announced via their X, formerly known as Twitter, account that forward Caleb Martin will be available for tomorrow's game against the Brooklyn Nets. A key reason for the success of the Heat so far this season has been their supporting role players, and Martin is arguably the best out of all them. If he gets playing time, it would be his first game played in the regular season since the opener against the Detroit Pistons. He's been dealing with a knee injury since the offseason, where he also missed most of the preseason. Martin played 20 minutes in the home win to the Pistons, but scored only 2 points on 1-7 shooting. Heat fans know Martin best for being a standout during the regular season, but the world got to know him better during his stellar performance in the team's magical playoff run earlier this year. He would be the scoring threat needed when Miami's main guys ran out of gas. Miami has been on a brutal 4-game road trip, however. They've won every game as they head back home to possibly get revenge on the Nets. Last time these two teams faced off, the Nets cut down the Heat's 16-point lead to win the game at the Kaseya Center. With the Heat playing the best basketball they have all season and Martin coming back, it could prove wonders for the team as they're missing their main scoring threat in Tyler Herro. While they come back home for a game, they have a painful 5-game road trip after. That's today's news. Thanks for watching the video. Press the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.